yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job.
So it looks like a new disorder has been introduced, and of course, it's by someone over on TikTok. Today we're going to be taking a look at someone who decided to post a rant video talking about time blindness. Yeah, before watching this, I've never heard the term time blindness in my entire life, and I feel like I'm not alone there. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people nowadays, especially in my generation, try to find disorders in every single little thing they do. Whether it's simple, mundane things like daydreaming or jiggling your leg or any quirky thing at all, there's a disorder for it, and they'll self-diagnose themselves with some shit. I don't know when or why this became a thing, but everyone likes to invent or label themselves with disorders. Maybe it's to feel special or to victimize themselves. But anyways, I'm getting carried away. In today's case, it's time blindness, or in other words, struggling to be on time and forgetting what time it is. Something that I think everyone has dealt with at least once in their lives before. You know, maybe you're fully focused on something and you completely forget what time it is. And you have an appointment, for example, or somewhere to be. You know, being late is a pretty common experience. It just happens sometimes. But the person we're going to be taking a look at today is complaining and crying that she can't get accommodations for time blindness at her job, which is yet another example, I think, of the self-centeredness of this generation. It's like the world has to revolve around you at all times, and we've already seen something like this in the past. But without further ado, let's just check this out.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question. So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time, you know? And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else, and then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job.
Which is 100% true. I'm not really sure why this had to warrant making a video with tears in your eyes on the brink of crying. I think it's common sense that a job that is willing to hire you and pay you to work for them is gonna expect you to be on time. Why exactly would any employer be willing to hire someone that's almost never gonna be on time to do the job? A job that might even require you to help out your coworkers. Also, what even would be the accommodations? That you could just show up anytime you want or make your own hours? As awesome as that might be, that's just not how things work, and most places aren't gonna hire you. Not to mention a pretty self-entitled way of going about things. The world doesn't revolve around you. The TikTok generation seems to be shocked to find that out, and you could see it. I mean, she's on the brink of tears.
They actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. You know, provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace. And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled.
Dismantled, yeah. You mean the culture that pays people to do a job and show up on time? I mean, how outrageous. How outrageous is it that a job will fire you for not doing the bare fucking minimum like showing up on time? These employers have gone insane. They're downright evil. How dare they fire someone for not doing the job they were hired to do? If losing track of time and being late is a reoccurring problem for you, and you genuinely have a disorder like ADHD that a doctor has diagnosed you with, it is completely on you to manage that yourself. You know, I don't think you're the only person in the world that has to deal with those problems. You could do something as simple as setting an alarm, a revolutionary idea, I know. I mean, we live in a time where everyone has access to technology at all times. Make some reminders, set an alarm on your phone, your watch, your computer. It's really not this huge problem she's made it out to be. It's pretty fucking easy to solve, actually. But I do wonder, though, if the time blindness makes her leave work later. Does the time blindness work the other way, too?
Other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled. And then I asked that person, how can you feel good about yourself upholding this kind of system? And then to think I'm entitled. No, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's entitlement.
Yeah, how entitled of these employers. How entitled of them to expect you to show up on time for a job they pay you money for. Money so you could pay your bills.
And then to think I'm entitled. No.
Or you know what, I take that back. For some reason, I doubt this person has any bills. Like, they probably don't even pay the phone bill for the phone they're recording this video on. But yeah, it's the person hiring you that's entitled. Not you, who's demanding that everyone caters and accommodates to your needs. Not you, who thinks the world revolves around them. It's everyone else. This person's getting a serious reality check in the future.
When people ask me how does it feel being the time blindness girl and have everybody bashing you constantly on Twitter and Instagram, and all I could say is it's a testament of what the United States has become. And we hear about algorithms, political radicalization, and how the internet is influencing humans, and we think, oh, okay. But then when it happens to you, you see how big of a problem it is. Because when we can no longer have a civil discussion about a video with very little context, it makes you wonder, is there even a future for our nation, and what future is there to fight for? Because arousing mass amounts of hate, judging people, making mass assumptions, and being stuck in a cognitive loop without even knowing it, and then doing exactly what the algorithms want is seen as normal. But you know what? It doesn't have to be.
What are you what the fuck? This is the follow-up video, by the way, and she has completely lost the plot. Now I get what she's saying, I understand, but it's really not that deep. You posted a brain-dead take online with enough context, I think, and people disagreed with it. They're allowed to disagree with it. That's the social part in social media. It's really not that complicated, but I guess I'm part of the cognitive loop now, and I'm feeding the algorithm. Ooh. But I do agree with her on something. I do agree with her that this is a testament to what the US and society has become. Her video and opinion specifically is a testament to how entitled and self-centered people are getting. Victimizing yourself at every turn and expecting the whole world to revolve around you.
Once upon a time, I thought that political polarization and social media algorithms radicalizing us wasn't as big of a deal. That was before I started trending online and became the target for mass amounts of hate on TikTok and Twitter. I've seen this hate and division firsthand in a way that I hadn't before. And you know what? Political polarization needs to be one of the top issues in the United States. Because when we are stuck in cognitive loops and biases that we don't even know we're in, we cannot work to change things like economic and environmental injustice. Because this is an issue that needs to be addressed first, because without addressing it, we will get nowhere.
I've noticed this thing where a lot of people like to throw around buzzwords to sound smarter, but it pretty much never works. It usually does the complete opposite. It's like this person talks in buzzwords. I feel like everything she just said could have been summarized in one short sentence. I'm entitled, self-centered, and need to set an alarm.
We cannot work to change things like economic and environmental injustice.
But anyways, I think that's gonna wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more juicy videos coming soon to the channel, and let me know your opinion on this entire situation in the comments. Peace.